Okay, so I've got a new diesel heater from Hcalory, and this was sent to me in exchange for an honest review. And what we're going to do in this video is we're going to open this up, take a look at the inside. We're going to go through all of the different components that come with the unit. We're going to talk about how to hook this up, and we're going to fill it up with some diesel, and we're going to run it. And then we'll have our final thoughts. So with that, let's get to it. All right, so this is the tank where you open it up and you put your diesel fuel in there. It has a little filter. Take a look at the front. We've got our control panel here. This is how you'll turn it on and get it primed and set up and run. This is your output. You have this hose that comes with it, which connects on right here, and then you can redirect this, to wherever you want your heat to go. And this also expands, so you can, if you need to run your output, further away from the unit itself, you're able to do that. So, if you want to take a look on the inside, you have these clips, which you need to take and open, release it from the bottom, and then this will lift off. Okay, so one thing that I noticed right away is that this is not attached at all. So this is not going to be an issue if this is going to be in a stationary location. It's not going to be moved around or bounced around. But if you're going to use this in a van, or a camper that you haul behind your vehicle, that might be something that you want to take a look at. Maybe secure this to this plate here with some Velcro or some carpet tape or something. Another thing that I noticed is that the fuel line is attached like an inch from the bottom. So even though this is a 5-liter tank, you're not going to get that bottom. That looks like could be up to a liter, maybe 3/4 of a liter, that you're not going to have access to because this is coming out the side rather than the bottom. So I'm not crazy about that. And this fuel line here comes into the pump and then looks like, it goes into the bottom of the unit. I do not see a filter anywhere, so your diesel fuel is not getting filtered. So those are the cons that I can see right away, and those are all minor things. They don't really bother me that much. I can work around that. So what I want to do is I want to get this back on. We'll get it filled up with some diesel, and we'll give it a run. But all right, so if you look here on the bottom, right next to the fuel input, that's where your fresh air intake is. And over here, this is where your exhaust is. So this is the elbow that you'll use to connect up your exhaust pipe. And that fits right there, but it does not fit over this one. This one's a little bit larger. So you can't mess that up, which is nice. And in the bottom, you've got a couple of outlets. You've got a little indentation there where this would come through. And then you've got a hole over here in the side where you would route your fresh air intake. So that way it keeps you from having both your exhaust and your intake in the same location, because that would not be preferable. So I would advise you to get some exhaust paste to put around here to help to seal that up. And I would put it here, and I would put it here. And I would also put it where the muffler attaches to the exhaust pipe. All right, if we take a look here where the tank comes out through the top, that does a pretty good job of keeping the tank in place. Maybe that's good enough. I think I would still put some Velcro or some carpet tape on the bottom though. All right, another thing I want to point out is you've got two slits right here which allow you to check how much diesel fuel you've got in your tank. So that's kind of nice. All right, so the way I'm going to be using this at my cabin is I'm going to be running it off of a 12-volt battery system. So I've got this hooked up to my battery, and then I'll plug this end in right here. All right, so I've got everything hooked up. I've got my power. Okay, now the system has to self-prime, and that could take a few minutes. So we'll come back as soon as that's primed and the heater starts working. So that's kind of a nice feature. I did not have to manually prime the pump. All I had to do was turn it on and wait for the pump to self-prime. That's a really nice feature. That would definitely warm up the cabin. Yeah, so the amperage draw from your battery system is really minimal. The only thing that is running from your 12-volt system is your display, which auto dims, and your fan. So it's not taking very many amps. I think the average was about 1.5 amps, 1.25 amps, somewhere around there. And that will not put any stress on my battery system at all. Let me use the remote, turn this off. Now it's going to ramp down and the fan's going to continue to blow even though the heater element is off, and that'll cool it down. So you don't want to unplug your electrical input because you want that fan to continue to run. So I'm going to leave it hooked up. There's also an Hcalory app. This supports Bluetooth, so you can actually monitor it from your phone. And right now I've got it set to turn on the fan, and I can turn that off. I can turn the heater on. I can set my high plateau if I need to. And because right now I'm in Utah, so and I'm at 5,000 feet, so I would need to have the high plateau setting enabled. So, and I can turn the heating unit off. And I like the fact that it always asks me if I want to confirm, you know, did I hit that by mistake, or do I actually want to turn this on or off? All right, so let's see how much this draws when it's sitting idle. Not very much. It's drawing less than 1/10 of an amp. So very insignificant. I tell you, I really kind of impressed with this unit. I know that we talked about a few shortcomings up in the beginning, but those were minor issues. I'm really going to enjoy using this at the cabin. It puts out good heat, and it's really easy to set up. Just hooking up a couple of input and output exhaust pipes, and hooking up to your electrical system, whether it's 110 or 12 volt. So this is going to be an excellent heating solution for the cabin.